All right, how y'all doing? I am Ty Van, a.k.a. Teddy Crucifix, a.k.a. your pastor's favorite rapper.
And I'm the pastor who he's referring to. My name is Byron, and
this is He's the Pastor. I'm the Rapper Podcast.
Yeah, we're going to switch it up one day. One day he's going to be the pastor, and I'm going to be the rapper.
Wow. I don't know if that was prophetic or not.
Nah. In a sense, maybe halfway. Maybe half of it was, man.
We'll see, man. But how you doing?
I'm good, man. Oh, I forgot. Gotta drop the oh yeah.
So
Shout
y'all
out to
know.
the oh yeah.
And who is that?
I don't know, bro. I just looked up oh yeah, and I was like, yo, I love hearing oh yeah. Like I thought that was like the dopest thing ever. I want to get some shout outs before we get started.
Let's go.
Shout out to Puma because I like it.
Oh, bro, you need an applause button.
Oh, I got an applause button.
Let's go.
Yeah, so shout out to Puma because I like it and because they endorse two of my favorite rappers, J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. Have you seen the Nipsey Hussle marathon Puma collab thing?
Nah, I seen it when he first transitioned. I ain't seen the new one.
They got some dropping soon. Actually, it's probably already dropped.
Really?
Yeah, man.
It's dope?
I mean, I ain't.
You ever looked it up?
Well, we record this podcast before it actually drops. So I was trying to like say that it's already dropped. But yeah, it's dope. Man, cut that out. Yeah, it's dope, man. I seen it, man. I got like 3 pieces.
You said cut it out like you're not the editor.
Yeah.
This is funny.
And then shout out to Puma because they make the little J. Cole shoes. And even though the shoes are mildly ugly, we still rock with
I think he was being modest. Those things are ugly. He said, and I'm a J. Cole fan, but listen, J. Cole made those shoes for him. Like
they only look good on J. Cole. Y'all.
I'm talking about all versions. Those are for him. Again, I'm a Cole fan. I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna rock because somebody, gift them to me.
Bro, I'm a Cole fan too, and I done tried them on 3 times. I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna wear these boys at. I might just have to wait to go hoop.
You gotta wear them like when you flow seat at a Magic's game. You just gotta have them on with the joggers.
Bro, that sounds like never. Floor seat at the Magic's game?
Hey,
I'd rather wear them just at the floor seat of Bethune-Cookman basketball team.
I'm a rapper. You don't know what my future lies.
Okay.
You could be on the floor seat at the Magic game, bro.
There we go. That's what I'm trying to hear, man.
Have faith, man.
Hey,
oh, ye of little faith.
I'll sit on the floor if I'm sitting beside Ty and we just out there stunting in some Puma gear.
Bro, you gonna be that pastor? You gonna be what's the pastors with the J?
Nah, bro. Celebrity pastors are not it.
You gonna be one, bro?
I'm not.
You gonna be one by association?
No, sir. I want to be I don't even want to go down that path. We're going to have to do a whole nother episode about celebrity pastors. However, I try not to be critical of pastors, even though I'm very critical of rappers, Christian rappers.
But I reel them back in. At least I try to.
So you are listening to I was about to say Tell the Story Dog podcast.
That was the best song. He said that as I'm drinking water.
Yeah, you are listening to the He's the Pastor, I'm the Rapper podcast. And as we started this podcast, it was almost like a accidental start to the podcast. Like it was just us throwing some paint at the wall and thinking about what could work. And Ty and I, like we always say, we have conversations about culture and about hip hop and about Christianity and the Bible. And then I got to thinking, do black people even listen to podcasts?
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we got to get the dun, dun, dun.
I ain't got the dun, 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 but hold on. Let me see what I can come up with. Nah, we'll insert that post.
Dun, dun, dun. As my voice cracks. Nah, I don't know. Do you think black people listen? Hey, man, people gonna look at these podcasts like these some pro-black brothers.
Hey, man, I feel like every episode we end up back black. Hey, my white brothers and sisters, we love y'all.
Oh, we love y'all.
We
Seriously.
love y'all, man. And y'all are killing the podcast game. So, I mean.
Like, I'm talking about murdering O.J. Simpson, killing the game.
I'm talking about they've been doing it for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? But.
Like, fun fact, I bet y'all don't know that podcasting started in 1984, and it was called audio blogging. And as Byron is saying, I'm pretty sure you can't name one black person that had an audio blog in 1984.
Yo, I did not know. And I'm a history guy, and I had no clue that it went back that far.
1984?
I was thinking like it started probably in the 2000s, like when the iPods came out.
That's when it took off.
Okay.
2004.
iPods. Okay.
So
cool.
20 years later, it took off 2004, but 1984.
You think about how inconvenient it would have been to try to listen to an audio blog before you could do it in your car or while you're working out, or you know what I'm saying? So like the iPhone and you know, you remember back in the day when your phone ain't had internet, like when you had like, or when they charged for internet on your phone. That junk used to be
hold
crazy.
on, let me tell my age. They used to charge for text messaging, and I had 100 messages per month.
You had to tell people, "Hey, yo, text me at 9:00."
And call me after 9:30. Y'all little young whippersnappers don't know nothing about that.
Bro, they used to charge you for the amount of words you're putting out. I'm like, yo.
Serious? Listen, okay.
That's why back in the day when they had beepers, they used to speak in code because they used to charge.
Correct. So you had to know it was like Morse code for beepers. You had to know, no, it's crazy.
And that's why you can't listen to a podcast on a beeper.
Facts. Because
you have to pay for internet.
So wait, I'm curious to know.
By the way,
I'm curious to know, like, in 1984, like, who was listening to podcasts?
Nobody. No, I'm joking. I legit don't think anybody was listening to them.
I'm gonna have to do my YouTube.
Podcast. So think about this, bro. So like in 1984, they had just gone digital in most studios. Matter of fact, a lot of studios didn't go digital until the 90s.
I'm about to say the
right?
90s.
So that means they're actually recording on tape. Audio blogs?
Whoa.
That's crazy. Because if y'all knew how much editing we got to do. Man,
hey, it probably was really quick, like audio blogs. It was probably like 5 minutes. Because of the tape cuts, that's crazy.
I mean, but one thing I do, like if you think about it, there's a lot of history that comes with it. Because if you go back to the early 1900s, before it was like television, they would do radio programming and they would tell stories on the radio.
Correct.
And then you start getting these interview style stuff, but it's all radio based, and people would sit down and listen to that. So like even Tonight Show and like those late night things, they would do those on the radio. And podcasting is just like the great grandchild of all of that.
Correct.
So,
but I guess my mind just can't. I can't put it together because I listen to podcasts on my phone. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe podcasts are for rich people. You just sit at your Mac, your Mac computer of 1984 and listen to your audio blog. I don't know.
Which would be one of the reasons why black people don't typically listen to podcasts, because it was built for people who could afford it.
That's probably true.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you didn't have an iPhone in 2005, which hardly any of us had iPhone. We was rocking
flip
Nokias
phones.
back then.
We had the flip phones. The what's the T-Mobile? The Sidekick.
The Sidekick. Yeah. So you can't listen to podcasts on no Sidekick now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it wasn't until those things became more affordable that we were able to engage. And then even as I'm saying that, like, man, I know a lot of people who still don't have that. Like, I know a lot of people who got those Obama phones, bro. And you don't think you can get no podcast on the Obama phone. Maybe you can.
Me? I don't know. If you can and you have one, let us know. Right in the comments right now.
Yeah, right now.
You got an Obama phone. Let us know.
Hey, we're both black. I don't know if people know that. But yo, we're both black. So I think I should ask you the question, do you listen to podcasts? Because it would be real crazy if you had a podcast and you don't listen to podcasts.
Okay, so as of now, yes, I listen to podcasts, but this is like I started listening to podcasts 2019, I believe. And I used to fast with the Christian hip hop collective Crew for Jesus that I'm in. We used to fast once a week, and I didn't want to listen to music throughout the fast. I mean, I listen to gospel, but I didn't want to listen to, like my rap and hip hop and stuff. Even Christian hip hop, I didn't want to listen to it. So I just wanted something positive to listen to. And I don't know what made me think Eric Thomas, because I was not listening to Eric Thomas at all. But I was like, let me look up, I guess because I knew he was a motivational speaker. And I found all his albums. I did not like his albums. I was like, this is kind of, hard. And then I saw something, it was like Secret to Success. So I played the first episode. It was a podcast. I fell in love, and I became a podcaster, and I've been listening to podcasts ever since.
No, I dig that. I dig that completely. I don't know when I started listening to podcasts. I think it was when I kind of got into the professional realm. So it's probably somewhere around 2011, 2012.
Oh, you an OG.
Yeah. Let me tell you, man.
OG.
Hey, one thing I can tell you is being in those spaces where you the one piece of chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He keeps setting me up, man. Yo.
Being in those spaces where you the one piece of chocolate, bro, they put you on stuff early, man. So, man, 13, somewhere around 12, 13, like I was doing marketing and advertising, and they were really big on like, there's a guy named Seth Godin, and he writes a blog every day, like every single day. And then I remember he started a podcast, and I'm like, yo, a podcast? Like, what's that? And they're like, yo, you could just listen to it. And people would listen to podcasts while they were working in the office. So I got onto it fairly early, but I never really liked it. Like, it was like all kinds of people who I didn't understand. Like, why are they talking about this? Like, this doesn't even relate to anything I'm doing. And then over time, like as I got saved and I fell in love with theology, like around 14, 15, I started listening to all kinds of what pastors would do. 2014. Yeah, not when I was 14 years old. Pastors used to upload their sermons as podcasts. So I used to listen to those a lot. And then I think somewhere around that period, 14, 15, 16, they started getting hip to the fact that, oh, we can have conversations. So I would listen to them have these conversations about all these topics. So I've been on podcasts for a while, bro. Like I enjoy podcasts. I would say I'm a podcaster, but I go back and forth. Like I have seasons. So there was a season where I was flying a lot, and I would listen to podcasts every time I get on the flight. Like the whole flight. I wouldn't listen to, well, I listen to music on the ascent because I hate takeoffs. But by the time you get, I don't hate Takeoff the rapper, by the way. Just take off on a plane. But
was he on Bad and Bougie?
I'm not sure whether he was on Bad and Bougie.
Oh, the joke went over your head.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, Takeoff definitely got left off Bad and Bougie. But when I would be in the air, I would put on a podcast and vibe to the podcast the entire time. And I feel like I'm talking too much already.
Oh, no, you good.
But I like, you know why I like podcasts?
Why is that?
Because I like talking to people.
That makes sense.
I love hearing people talk, and I love talking to people.
It's funny because I don't really like talking to people, but I like talking to you. Pause. But
for the listeners who don't know what pause means, yeah. Anyway, so
oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my God.
we probably need that too. We getting all the little sound bites we need.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know. So with saying that, like, do you think podcasts were intended for like educational purposes? Like, do you think that was the intent when it first started? Or
yeah, you know, like edutainment is, or infotainment. So they're just terms that people use to describe something that can be enjoyed like entertainment, but it's supposed to be educational.
Gotcha.
So that's what podcasts originally were. Like they were like, how to fold your clothes backwards, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. That was kind of completely random. But like they would do stuff like talk to professionals about certain things, and it was supposed to make you smarter. And then the black people got a hold of it.
Also, I laughed all in the mic.
Yeah, man. So I say that as a joke, but let's be real. Like black people gave podcasting a whole new twist. So, I mean, I think we added a lot of elements that make it enjoyable for people who are outside of that professional space.
Got you. So for the people listening to a podcast, I guess preferably black people, I'm pretty sure we're listening to it for entertainment purposes, right? Oh yeah. But do you feel like people are still they're listening to it for entertainment purposes, but do you think they're getting, I guess, informative information and like kind of running with that from those podcasts?
Oh yeah. I mean, think about it like this. Like in your music, aren't you trying to get a message out?
Correct.
Yeah, so I think in all media, there's a message behind it. You know, so even if people are going to it for entertainment purposes, I think they're getting direction from it. I think they're taking life advice from it. I think some people are building their theologies off of it. Some people are building their psychology, the psychology of their life off people listen to podcasts, and I honestly believe that whatever you say on a mic, people will believe. Like, I think anytime people hit record and they say on a mic and they have some level of authority, they believe it. So with that being said, on the mic right now, I want to say Identity Daytona.
Come on, man.
Nah, but bro.
But seriously, if you're in the greater Daytona Beach area or Volusia County area and you're looking for a church, Identity Daytona, we meet 3 times on Zoom out of the month and 1 time in person. You can find us at identitydaytona.org for more information.
Oh, yeah. There we go. So that's the official identity drop in the podcast we do every single time. But I feel like you were getting to something when you said, like, do you think people are getting their information from these podcasts? Like, what were you trying to get at when you said that?
I don't know. I feel like if you don't know your purpose behind, like, truly listening to a podcast, it could become a dangerous thing. Like, if you just, I'm just throwing this on to passively listen to it, and you're not taking it for the entertainment that it could be. I guess it's depending on who you're listening to. It's like, say you're listening to The Breakfast Club, and you got an hour commute or something like that, and you're listening to it, and you hear Charlamagne or DJ Envy or Angela Yee say something, as you continue to listen to this podcast 5 times a week. Yeah, you're listening to it for entertainment purposes, but it can start to shape your thoughts and your ideology, and that can be a little dangerous. Again, if you don't understand what you're listening, if you're just passively listening and you don't understand why you're listening to these things, you're going to take that information in, and
do you listen to The Breakfast Club?
I do.
Like, still?
I do. Yeah.
Wow.
But
okay. I ain't judging you.
No, but if you were, you were. I listen. I listen to it to kind of stay up to date, because I'm getting older and I'm not like,
This man is 30.
I'm not even 30.
He's not even 30.
I'm not even 30.
Come on.
But still, like, I have a very busy schedule, and I'm not on social media as much as I once was. So to kind of stay up to date, I do listen to The Breakfast Club. Now, I'm pretty sure there's some other means I can, get my information, but that's what I choose to listen to. Even though I don't agree with a lot of things they say on there, it's very entertaining. Yeah. And I know I'm listening to it for entertaining purposes. So when they say something that, I feel like is out of pocket, I can be like, yo, that's crazy. Instead of like just taking that and forming my ideology.
I feel like a lot of black people listen to the Breakfast Club. Like, I feel like black people love the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I used to listen to it a lot. Like, I used to listen to like almost every single episode until the pandemic hit. Like, when the pandemic hit, I don't know what it was, but I just I couldn't do it anymore.
So before the pandemic, how were you taking it in? Like,
YouTube.
So you actually sitting down watching it?
Sometimes I watch it, sometimes I listen to it. Yeah.
So I don't understand why it changed then for you.
I think because the content got so current event-ish, right? So like Correct. There was so much involved with the pandemic, and here we are in the middle of a pandemic. I don't want to hear about it even in my entertainment. Like, it was bro, we got to hear about a pandemic again. Like, come on, like,
I got you.
And I just didn't. And then on top of that, like, for me, it was a spiritual thing. Whenever the pandemic hit, I had a lot of anxiety. Like, you and I talked about this. We Correct. Actually talked about it while it was happening. And when I had all of that anxiety, I felt like, yo, I need to shave off everything that ain't benefiting me, like straight to the core. Gotcha. And that was it. Like, it was something that I was willing to give up, because I'm like, it didn't serve a purpose for me. But I know a lot of people watch it. So, and then here's my question: like, is the Breakfast Club even a podcast?
No, I think it's a syndicated radio show. Just like you said, pastors used to put their sermons, or I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, Identity Daytona has a some sermon series on the podcast. So but just like pastors will put their sermons out as podcasts, I think they're putting I think they put some of the interviews and I don't know, like Donkey of the Day or something like that. They'll put it on as a podcast, but it's not a podcast. They just take clips from the show. Yeah.
So, all right, besides Breakfast Club, like what podcasts are you engaging with, listening to? You talked about ET, which is interesting because I've heard there's a certain type of person who listens to ET. Mm-hmm. Like there's I keep wanting to say CT, like CT Fletcher. You know what I'm talking about? The dude.
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't know who that
Insert is. CT Fletcher here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but ET, there's a certain type of guy who listens to ET. But then you talk about Breakfast Club. So like, what else are you listening to?
Man, I want to know. I'm gonna tell you, but I want to know what type of person I am.
Like, like a person who's motivated, a person who thrives off of motivation and is constantly trying to make it to the next level or get to the next level. Somebody who's going to grind out. Like, you're a grinder. Yeah. Like, you are serious about your grind. Yeah. Some people listen to ET and be like, yo, I'm tired of hearing this dude like say the same thing over and over about.
Y'all missing some.
You don't want it enough. You got to breathe underwater. You know, if an elephant falls on your chest, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. You're not finna come for ET.
Hey, I will.
You're not.
I most certainly will.
Bro, you're not gonna come for ET.
This episode is gonna be a little longer.
You think so? Because we can do it. But yeah, so my podcast of choice right now is Secret to Success. That's ET's podcast. The Bible Project, they have a podcast. There's a podcast called The Disruptors by Esau McCulley.
Yeah. Shout out to Esau McCulley.
There's a podcast by the De Novo Agency. It's called The Business of Music Podcast. If you want to learn about the music business, I would suggest listening to them. And there was like some real estate podcasts I used to listen to. One was like Wholesaling LLC or something like that. And I think Bigger Pockets. Yeah, but that's pretty much it as of right. There's one I heard NT Wright, Melissa Mealy. She told me NT Wright has a podcast that I think I'm gonna check it out this week. But yeah, that's all the podcasts I listen to. What about you?
NT Wright is fire.
Oh, he's dope.
NT Wright.
He's dope, and I'm gonna start listening to him.
Our brother Frank, who's a part of the church.
Don't tell me.
He was a student of NT Wright.
Really?
Yes, sir. You gotta get with him on that, man. He's a student of NT Wright, bro. NT Wright's fire.
Just to let everyone know, this is definitely gonna be over 30 minutes. Oh, we haven't even got to the meat of it.
We're new to all the podcasting, so but in the next few I think we can have a whole podcasting network. Like,
hey, explain the net because ET started one. I see Joe, but what is the benefit of having a network?
I think the benefit of having the network is you streamline content that is like your content, right?
Ooh.
So. You know what I'm saying? Like our lane is that we're Christians, we're in culture, as what we would say, and we like hip hop and stuff like that. So if there are other people who are talking about similar things, but they're not us, then they would be a part of that network. So like, what if like Kimyata and another young lady sat down and they talked about what it means to be a black woman? Tia, and
Khadijah.
And Khadijah.
I don't want to leave nobody out.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Bree, and just start naming people. But yeah, so we can have a podcast network. Look, we all off the rails right now. The point is, you are listening to the He's the Pastor, I'm the Rapper podcast right now. And if you are black, then you are answering the question for us.
You are actually. So thank you.
That black people do listen to podcasts.
You're not a statistic.
Now let me ask a question.
What's up, bro?
Do you have to have video for black people to watch a podcast though?
I think that depends. I don't know. It depends. I passively listen to podcasts at work. I work at FedEx, and you can't listen to so much music, y'all. I probably done heard, at least in my genre, all the music that I care to listen for. I've heard it already. So that's why podcasts do me justice. So I'm passively listening to it, but I'm pretty sure if I was at the crib, I would want to watch it. So I think it depends on how you take in podcasts. Me, I listen to it.
Yeah, most people I know who listen to podcasts who are black, they usually taken in from the video component. You know what I'm saying?
And I can see that.
Because, well, I don't know what the reasons are, but yeah, most people I know who are black taking in on the video component. However, my white brothers and sisters, they listen to podcasts all the time, and they're hardly ever looking at it. They're always listening to it.
Maybe because of how it started. Because like you say, podcasts is definitely changed over time. And now it's becoming a video thing, especially with the pandemic. Like people were stuck home, so I can see why you would want to watch it. But with how it started, all y'all was doing was listening.
It's differences in culture too. So like, let's say for instance, like, man, I know a lot of my white brothers and sisters that run a lot, right? You listen to podcasts when you run.
Oh, I don't know.
Right?
Y'all different.
But here's the thing, like how many brothers you know who run besides me? And
I'm about to tell you, he definitely won.
But yeah, that's it. I don't know that many guys. Like, you know. So okay, and then you think about like when we work out, we usually in the gym. Where you want trap music.
Trap.
Bro, I want to hear some Yo Gotti. I want to hear some
I need trap, dog.
Moneybag Yo. Hey, I listen to Nipsey every time I go to the gym. Like, no matter if it's just one song, I just have to.
I got to be in the mood to listen to Nipsey.
What?
I can't listen to Nipsey like that.
I'm always, bro. Anyway.
I got to be in the mood, yeah. We're gonna let
so that's working out. So, okay, let's talk about on the job, right? On the job. Some of our white brothers and sisters, they have an opportunity to just go in their office and cut on a podcast and listen to it. Other, people, most of the black and brown brothers and sisters I know, they don't have that luxury. Like, they are constantly interacting with people or going back and forth or doing, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So they don't really have the time to vibe out and just listen to a podcast. So that might be a factor in it too.
For y'all watching, help us out. Well, obviously, like you said, if they're watching it, that's gonna prove. I don't know. First off, comments help the algorithm on YouTube and Instagram. So let's get that out of the way. This help us out. But if you're watching us right now, just comment. We're gonna make a poll ourselves, and we'll get back with y'all next podcast.
Yeah. So hey, are we rapping?
No, I don't think. Because hold on, I don't think we got down to the deepness of it. No,
I don't think so either. So you go with it.
I think we as people we need to not be conscious, but it's like know what you're listening to a podcast for. If you're passively listening to a podcast for entertainment, and from that entertainment you hear some information, fact check it. Like, don't just understand that this is a podcast for entertainment, so don't just take it and run with it. I feel like a lot of us do that, especially us as black and brown people. It's like you listen to someone that's very charismatic, they're entertaining, and they put out some information. You just go, man, all right.
Wait, let me just ask you, do you believe in podcast propaganda?
Explain.
Like, propaganda is when people like put out messages that sometimes aren't true, but to push like an agenda or to lead people to ignorance.
From my personal experience, I don't think the black podcasts I listen to or have come across do that intentionally. I think it's out of ignorance.
Okay, so look, we name names here on this podcast because
we going to right now.
If we call out Lecrae, we got to call out Charlemagne.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's why I was about to go. Seriously, he had a rapper on there named Fredro Gang or Fredro Bang. I think it's Fredro Bang.
This dude is not even 30 and he don't know Frito Bang.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't feel bad, even though I love you as a brother. This man slaughtered the scripture of walk by faith and not by sight. He has a whole song that's being played on the radio saying he does not walk by faith. And Charlemagne heard this man say this. This is adding on to what we're talking about. It was like, hey man, I think that's deep, man, that you don't walk by faith. Cuz be slaughtering scriptures all the time. And it's like, bro, this is my thing. It's like, people like Charlemagne, they cherry pick what they want out of the Bible, the things that fit, the ideologies that they have, the stuff that they like, they roll with that. The stuff that they don't like, they bash. And again, Charlemagne does that often. As much as I like to listen to the Breakfast Club and he's on there, it's like, bro, that is so detrimental because you have so much influence and people are listening to you, taking in this information and just rolling with it, and that's so scary, man.
That sounds a lot like T.I.
Oh, T.I. does it too.
He's terrible.
And
he's terrible. And here's the thing.
ahead.
Look, we're not here to just rag on. We're not here to just rag on podcasts. We're not podcast haters, but I think we're lovers of truth.
Yes.
Right? So like when we hear people put out podcasts, like I've heard specifically T.I. talk about the Bible and him say stuff about the Bible that's not even in the Bible, like or about
stuff.
church that ain't even connected to the church, or about Jesus that ain't even true, you know. And I think just because people who are in entertainment have some level of influence does not mean they should be educating people on things. Hence, T.I., Nick Cannon.
Yes.
Nick Cannon, same thing. Like these cats get in trouble because they just go off spouting stuff as if they're professionals, like we do. And they don't actually know. Like, and that's why, like, as we're doing this, and this is like a real conversation, like, as we're doing this, we want to try to at least tell y'all, like, hey, we don't know some of this stuff. And what we're trying to do is run to the scriptures to ensure that whatever we're trying to give to you is something that's actually truth and not something we just made up on the top of my head. Great example of this. I told a story on our first episode about the warlocks. And I have known that to be true for years. Yeah, and somebody corrected me. And when I went back and did some Googles and all that stuff, I still hold my story to be true. But I am open and honest enough to say, hey, it could not be true. Or that person who opposed could be what they're saying could be true. Right? Like, I am not infallible. God is infallible. I am not. So if I say something wrong, y'all put it in the comments.
Yeah, I think that's deep. I just lost all train of thought because I was about to go somewhere.
Look, hey, if y'all are out here listening to, look, I'm about to be like, what's his name? Suge Knight. Yo, y'all out here on Apple Podcasts listening to Charlamagne,
T.I. expeditiously, Nick Cannon,
and they giving you all of Cannon's class, and they want to be all in your AirPods,
all in your ear,
all on your beats, giving you false information. Y'all need to forget that and come to the Bible. For real, man. These cats be out here giving false information.
I remember before we wrap up. Listen, this is my thing. For the people that have a lot of negative things to say about Christianity or the Bible, if you're not actively walking this thing out, or if you're not actively going to the scriptures or have read the scriptures in its entirety to get the full context, stop talking about it.
Well, see, I gotta push against you. I'm not gonna say stop talking about it.
Go ahead.
But I would say talk about it with some humility, right? Like talk about it as if you are observing and searching, and not as if you know exactly what it says. Like we're gonna do a whole nother podcast saying the Bible don't say that, because I feel like black people especially, like we love summarizing what the Bible says. He's like, bro, it's not even in the Bible. God, you know what they say? God help those who help themselves. Like, what?
Godliness is close to cleanliness. Excuse me?
Like, I done searched the whole Bible. I ain't found that junk.
Money is the root of all evil.
You know.
Oh, all right.
I done seen that on the Breakfast Club. You know, money is the root of all evil. You know what I'm saying? And bro, like, just do your, you know.
Well, what I'm saying about First, I agree. I'm just saying that the cherry picking. I agree with what Byron is saying. I don't know. I guess I'm just because me and you, we are actively like holding things to the scriptures, and it's like if we're wrong, we're gonna say we're wrong, and I think that's a problem too. It's like because you guys or these people are not actively like walking this thing out or like actively searching the scriptures, you don't know that you're wrong. So it's like you just put it out there and you're not leaving you're leaving a lot of room for error. But I don't know, man. It's like it irks me. I guess because I'm so passionate about what I do and what we do. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Hi. Do black people listen to podcasts?
Yes.
I think so. I'm not sure. If y'all listen to podcasts, though, we want you to put it in the comments. We want you to engage with us. We want you to send it to our send it to our individual Instagrams and our Facebooks and all that type stuff. We want to know what you're listening to, because I'm an avid podcast listener, or I'm a seasonal podcast listener.
I'm avid. And
Ty is an avid podcast listener. So throw us your favorite podcast and we'll listen to them. Maybe.
Listen, because I need to trust you before I listen to your podcast. There has to be some kind of relation for me. Every podcast I listen to, yeah, go ahead.
Ty only likes podcasts that teaches him something.
Well, no, because I listen to the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah,
and that's teaching me on what not to do. So that's about it. We wrapping up.
Yeah, we can wrap up right now. Look, Black people, we love y'all. White people, we love y'all. Asians, we love y'all. Pacific Islanders, we love y'all. Hispanic people, we love y'all. And I would like to hear what they think about podcasts. We spent this whole episode talking about Black people love podcasts. Are there Asian and Hispanic podcasts out there that we should be listening to?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Please, yeah.
Drop those. And here's how you can help us in our podcast. You can like it. You can subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow both of our personal accounts. My account is Byron L Cogdell on everything. What you got?
Oh, and Identity.
Oh yeah, Identity Daytona on everything as well. Mm-hmm. And we also have podcasts that come through Identity Daytona. So check that out.
And you can follow me at I Am Ty Van on everything. You can also follow the Hip Hop Collective I'm a part of at Crew, the number 4, Jesus, all one word. I am Ty Van, a.k.a. Teddy Crucifix, a.k.a. your pastor's favorite rapper.
And I'm the pastor and podcaster.
And this is He's the Pastor, I'm the Rapper podcast. Thank y'all for watching.
We out of here.